Isn't it so ironic that the more that you want something, the further away it seems to run from you? Hey, my name's Suzanne, and I'm a personal growth content creator. And my focus is really helping people create happiness, health, and success through following their inner guidance. So recently, I was feeling a little bit attached and honestly kind of crazy about something, a situation that I wanted, and I really needed to figure out how to detach from this situation. And I ended up having the most life changing journaling experience around this. It was like one of those moments that really shifted something within me. So I just thought, oh my God, I need to share this with you guys. So the first part about shifting this situation was really about giving myself compassion. Because what happens in these situations is we start to turn against ourselves and we feel like we don't have this created the situation that we want because there's something wrong with us or we're somehow inadequate or because some past experience happened, we can't create the thing that we want. And so we start to have all of these surface level stresses about the situation, over planning or obsessing about how to create this certain outcome. And when we stop and take a break and we notice what's underneath of all of these surface level thoughts, there's just a lot of painful emotions and deeper fears. So the first step is to, rather than turn against yourself, just realize like it's okay that I'm feeling this way. It's natural even. We feel like we need to get what we want in order for these feelings to go away, when the truth is we need to just come to peace and deal with these feelings if we want even a chance at creating the thing that we want in the first place. So the second step is to uncover the story. What is the story that you're telling yourself? What are you feeling insecure about? What do you feel like you're failing at? There's always a deeper reason for feelings of neediness or attachment. And a lot of times it's because you don't feel worthy or capable of creating or receiving the situation or outcome that you want. And even if you were to create the situation that you wanted, it wouldn't resolve the underlying feelings because it wouldn't resolve the underlying insecurities that you have. And we see this in a lot of times, like let's say somebody really wants a relationship and then they get into that relationship, but they still feel insecure. So they need constant reassurance about, that they're loved and that the other person wants to be in that relationship. And what happens? They end up driving that person away. And it's like these deeper fears and insecurities, if they're not dealt with, end up ruining the thing that you want, even if you do manage to create it. And, even if you are able to hold on to it, you're not happy with it because you feel so nervous and needy about keeping it that you can't enjoy it. Whatever peace comes from a changed situation is only temporary if you don't also resolve the underlying issue or problem, fear, doubt, insecurity that is fueling these feelings of neediness or attachment. Ask yourself questions like, what are you feeling insecure or afraid about? What are you afraid the situation says about who you are or who you're not? What's the story you're telling yourself about the situation? What meaning are you giving to it? So the third part, and you're not going to like this, but it's really to come to peace with not having the situation or outcome that you want, or even coming to peace with however it works out, either way. This is really key because that feeling of attachment or craziness comes when you're not okay with things working out a certain way. But the truth is, you might not get what you want or create the situation that you want. And some point you just have to decide what's more important to you, getting what you want so that you can be happy, or just being happy. And we don't have control over outcomes. We can control our efforts, but we can't control the outcome. And efforts do more harm than good anyway when they're fueled by that deeper sense of neediness or attachment or even desperation. When efforts are fueled by a sincere desire to expand and add to your life, they're just completely different. So what is the worst that could happen if you never get what you want or the situation never changes? What would you do in that situation? How would you handle it? This might be unconventional or something that not a lot of people would talk about, but it's something that's really helped me because the truth is sometimes in life, not often, but the worst case scenario does happen. And a lot of times when we tell ourselves, for me anyway, like, oh, well, that's the worst case, it probably won't happen. I'm someone who has experienced a lot of trauma and illness and death from an early age. So when I tell myself, well, the worst probably won't happen, at some level, I don't always believe that. So it really helps me to have sort of a backup plan. And then I can be at peace. And the longer that this goes on, then I do sort of feel more peaceful and okay, that normally doesn't happen. Everything's probably going to be okay. But I still like to have some kind of like an understanding or just awareness of how I would handle that situation. And it not only gives you peace for like what would happen if you don't get what you want or the situation doesn't work out how you think it should work out, but it just reminds me of my own capability and my own inner strength and my own ability to really create meaning, happiness, and fulfillment with whatever life brings my way. So think about it. And what is the worst that would happen? You don't have this thing right now, but you still feel moments of joy and contentment. And you'd probably feel a lot more if you let yourself off the hook or just accepted how things were and didn't let it bother you so much and gave yourself the gift of really enjoying your life right now. So the next step is really to reaffirm your faith. And I don't know what you believe, but I truly believe that there is a higher plan for each and every one of our lives. And sometimes we don't get the things that we want or we're put in situations in order to grow. And if you just reaffirm your faith that there is a plan for you and that you are meant to be happy and fulfilled and to love your life, then it gives you peace and it allows you to detach from the situations and needing them to look exactly how you want them to look, because you have this knowing that if I create that or if that occurs in my life, it'll be great. But if not, there will be something else. There will be something better. And you can also trust that if and when the time is right, then the situation that you're wanting will fall into place. Finally, connect to the highest possible path of creating the thing that you want. And this might seem like it goes against what I just said, but like I mentioned before, there's two possible ways of trying to achieve the same goal or create a certain outcome. And you can take the same actions, but they can be fueled by different emotions. They can be fueled by neediness and desperation and attachment for a certain outcome or situation to work out a specific way, or they can be fueled by the desire for expansion and curiosity and from the sincere desire to experience life and to grow yourself. And those are two entirely different energies that create two entirely different outcomes. Sometimes in life, this universe is cause and effect. And sometimes we're not receiving what we want simply because the energy that we're putting into our actions isn't the right kind of energy. So when you commit to that highest path, you're also committing to taking action from the highest energy, which increases the likelihood that you will achieve the thing that you want or create the situation that you want, but in a way that's nurturing and healthy for you. Make your life so full and so beautiful and so meaningful that you can work towards creating the situations and the outcomes that you want without feeling that sense of attachment or neediness. Have so much fun that whatever you long for is attracted to you and it comes to you rather than you having to chase it. And that could mean being an opportunist and looking around to see what opportunities that you're missing out on because you're so focused on how things don't look exactly the way that you want them. For example, I'm still living someplace that I don't really like to live, and I'm at peace with it now. I have been for a long time, but it was this, when I resisted it, I was kind of stuck in that place and it was making me unhappy. And because I was unhappy, I was also stuck and my life wasn't moving, which made me even more unhappy. But when I started to look around, I saw that I wasn't taking advantage of this really great opportunity that I had to follow my passion and to start my blog, which led to creating courses and creating a beautiful business around something that I feel like is my life purpose and passion, and now making YouTube videos. And it's all came from living in a place that I didn't like. And so sometimes the things that we don't like are actually giving us the perfect conditions to grow something else that means something really meaningful to us. But because we're so attached to the way that we think that it should look, we don't see those opportunities. And then when we don't see those opportunities for growth, we remain stuck and we think that we need to change the situation to get unstuck, when in reality, we just need to take a minute and look around at life and just ask ourselves, what is life asking of us? How can I show up in a more empowered, powerful way and really get myself unstuck and create movement in my life and find joy and happiness right now. But you can also just do random things, start a hobby, get fit, learn a new language, make some new friends, put yourself out there. Maybe you go on dates, but you're not attached, or you're looking for a new job, but you're not super attached. You're just doing it in a way that is allowing you to move towards the thing that you want, but your life is so full and so beautiful that it's not like you're attempting to do something to fill a hole inside of you. You're doing it to add to your life, not to fix your life. So don't wait for your life to look a certain way before you live it. Live it now. So ask yourself, in what ways do you want to grow? How can you develop yourself to attract what you want without chasing it? Make your biggest priority your own peace and your own happiness. Whatever it is that you want, or whatever situation you're trying to create, you want it so that you can be happy. So be happy now. Because the truth is, whatever situation that you're wanting to create is going to have its own problems. It's not going to be perfect. It's not going to save you from your current situation. There's probably things in your life right now that you once really wanted and thought would be the fix to everything, but are now creating their own problems. Nothing's perfect. And so when you look at everything a little bit more realistically and think about how, whenever you get what you want, there's new problems and new desires that are being born, and that's just the way that life is, then you can be more content right now. Because once you get the thing that you want, if you get it, or if you create that situation, you might look back on your life now and be like, oh wow, I really miss how I had more time for myself, or I really miss how I didn't have so many responsibilities. So there's things that you can enjoy about your life right now that might change in the future, because with blessings comes change. And so when you devote yourself to really appreciating what you have now and appreciating every step along the way to creating the situations that you want, then you won't be setting yourself up for the same exact situation once you create what you want and you're in those problems and you have your eye on the next thing. So prepare yourself by being the highest and best version of yourself right now. So let me know in the comments, what was the biggest takeaway for you? What is it that you are wanting to create in your life right now? So leave a comment below. It really does help the algorithm and help this content get to more people. So I really appreciate that. Like this video and definitely subscribe to my channel. And if you like to read, then go ahead and subscribe to my email newsletter, and I'll leave a link in the description box to that below too. All right, thanks so much for watching. I appreciate you so much. Love you guys. Bye.